34. 25. 32. 33. 38. 46. 47. 54. 55.
'So very quickly, Zhao Xingtong doing what we so often used to seeing from him, and that's mopping the balls up quite nicely. Break goes to 63. He's taken these well. I suppose you can forgive the players for slow starts in matches, these high pressurised situations, but of course Zhao Xingtong has been there, done it. He's lifted this title. He knows what it takes to go all the way. And doing what all top players do, get off to a good start, pile the pressure on early. Give that man there in the corner of your screen something to think about, Jiang Zheng. He's a very capable player himself, but he's got his hands full today.
78. 79. 86.
So this tricky little red down the rail for Zhao to keep the chance of a century break alive. Yeah, and in it goes, nicely done. Still a couple more problem balls for him to resolve, but what a start this has been. Oh, not to be, but a break of 87. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the blue going? Oh, he pots them even when he doesn't mean to. Go on and knock this in. Unlucky. Good effort, but a fantastic break of 92 is a really good marker for Zhao Xingtong. Laying down the pressure early on here in Leicester. Former champion of this event, Zhao Xingtong, with a fantastic start. He leads 1-0. So 1-0 to the former champion of this event, Zhao Xingtong, taking on fellow countryman Jiang Jun here in the Victorian Plumbing UK Championship qualifiers. All the players here in action to book their place as one of the 16 qualifiers from this event to travel, make the pilgrimage to York to take on the top 16 players in the world at the Barbican. The event, the main event, starts this coming Saturday. If you haven't got your tickets already, then firstly, what are you doing? What an event that is. One of the biggest events we have on the calendar, a Triple Crown event, of course, the UK Championship. Get your tickets. There are some still available. And of course, if you are in the area, the value is very much to come and see the qualifiers. £12 gets you an all-day ticket here. The open plan setup we have means you can roam around. We've got 8 tables in action. For £12, that is value. Get yourself down to the Mattioli Arena here in Leicester, where, of course, we'll be bringing you all the action live as it unfolds. Thank you for your company this morning. Stephen Hallworth with you, bringing you the commentary for this match. We've given David Hendon and Phil Yates the morning off. They were bang at it in Bolton last night for the Champion of Champions final. So they'll be making their way down at some point. And of course, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be bringing you our Judgment Day coverage, which is absolutely superb. 4 tables, dipping in and out, keeping you up to date with everything as it unfolds. Rob Walker will be here, Ken Doherty will be here, the Rob Walker energy will be in the arena, and make no mistake, you'll be able to feel it watching at home. So just to reiterate, these matches all still best of 11s, and they will be for the remainder of this event for the rounds at the Barbican in York. Best of 11 matches, proper matches, long enough to get your teeth into, long enough for there to be twists and turns as well. Very exciting. And of course this event now structured very similar, or identical in fact, to the World Championships, where the event is tiered, which means the lowest ranked players come in the earlier rounds to compete against one another, try and play their way into the event, playing players around their rankings rather than the flat draws, which throws you straight in the deep end, and the lower ranked players taking on the top players. I much prefer this system. Gives the lower ranked players an opportunity to be seen. Just to finally address the elephant in the room once again, Zhao Xingtong, a former winner of this event, back after an enforced ban from the game, hence why he's had to start off in round 1. Came through against Akani the other night, not currently a member of the World Snooker Tour, but doing his best now his ban is over to regain his place amongst the game's elite. Competing on the secondary tour, the Q Tour, which he's pretty much dominating at the minute.
33.
And already this morning looking in fine shape. Break of 92 in the opener. He's got the balls exactly where he wants them now in this second frame as well.
34.
27 years of age, Zhao Xingtong. He's been ranked as high as 6th in the world. Of course, that season, memorable season in 2021, where he lifted this title. The following season went on to lift the German Masters title as well. So a couple of trophies in the cabinet. He's got a couple of Q Tour trophies in his cabinet as well this season. So slowly making his way back to the form we're used to seeing from him. Such a naturally gifted player. You watch just how he floats around the table. The word is effortless.
47.
just drops down onto the shot. There's something about a left-handed player. I don't know what it is. They just look $1 million on the shot, and he is no exception. I think without beating around the bush around the situation, I don't think any player wanted to draw Zhao Xingtong coming into this event. Obviously, Zhao starting off in round one, he was probably the one name the players wanted to draw. I think Akani's had an absolute shocker. Of course, he could have won that match and it would have been a completely different story, but you just don't want to draw Zhao Xingtong in the first round of a big event like this, because you can pretty much guarantee he's going to put a performance in, and he's absolutely picking up from where he left off against Akani. If Xiang Jun didn't know he was in a match this morning, he certainly knows now. So can he go one better in this frame? A break of 92 in the opener. Can he chalk up another century break? Currently holds the highest break in this event, a 146.
85.
Not very often you see a 146 break, but he made one. Very much could have been a 147, but caught the knuckle of the middle pocket and it broke down, took the pinks, and with it the 146, and he's broken down again there, but a fabulous start nonetheless from Zhao Xingtong, very quickly into a commanding lead. 2-0. Well, it looked a very attractive match on paper, this one. A battle between Zhao Xingtong and fellow countryman Jiang Jun in this Victorian Plumbing UK Championship qualifiers. This man breaking off, knowing that he's well and truly in a game of snooker now. He's had a pretty good start to this season himself. He's on a second year of a 2-year tour card. Currently ranked 72nd in the world, Jiang Jun, but is signed 5th spot on the 1-year list, which is not a bad place to be. The 1-year list, of course, a route almost to keep your tour card come the end of the season if he fails to break into the world's top 64 players. So he's enjoying a good spell, but he's certainly up against it today. Worth noting as well that the pressure very much on Jiang Jun, because he is coming into this match as the seeded player, which does mean that should he not win this game, he will get the prize money for winning it, the prize money that he's guaranteed to be on, which is £2,500. But if he doesn't win this match, doesn't get the ranking points for it on his tally. The seeded players have to win the matches they're seeded into to get those points, so there's all sorts of subplots at stake here. Of course, this is actually day 3 of the event. We've had 2 jam-packed days of action. If you've missed what's happened, then where have you been? Because there really has been some exciting snooker played over the past couple of days. Some notable wins to just reference: Florian Nussler and Oliver Sykes, both amateur players, both winning 2 matches already to book their place into round 3. Liam Davis, Welshman, young Welshman who's a very good talent, could have made a magical maximum break the other day, missed the final pink on 134, an absolute heartbreaker for him, compounded by the fact that this man Zhao Xingtong then went on to make a 146 and at the moment holds the highest break, which carries a £15,000 price tag. Possibly the biggest story of the week actually is the women's world champion Baiyu Liu, playing some wonderful snooker. She beat Farah Kajab 6-4 in her opening match and then had a brilliant win over Jamie Jones last night, 6-4 as well. She becomes the first lady to win back-to-back matches in a ranking event since the 1990s. So that, again, just underlines how well she's playing. Plays the game properly. I like watching her play. With a bit more confidence under her belt, I think she could do some damage. Brilliant player. Plays Scott Donaldson next. And quite possibly the biggest upset of the event so far. Possibly the biggest upset ever.
7.
I lost to Michael Holt yesterday. I can hear the groans of disappointment. But yeah, Michael Holt played very well, very nicely against me yesterday. So unfortunately you won't be seeing me with the cue back out this week, but you'll certainly hear me with the mic in my hand. Zhang Zheng playing his second season as a main tour professional. First came onto the tour in 2023, winning a CBSA Chinese qualifying event, beat Liu Hongyu 4-2 in the final to turn professional, but that is the sort of shot you cannot afford to miss at any level. Never mind on the tour, never mind against a former UK champion. An unsettler of a shot. A black off the spot is a cardinal sin at this level.
1.
Xingtong very much already in his stride so far today. Breaks of 92 and 85 back to back in the opening 2 frames. Give you an indicator that this is the sort of opportunity he's probably going to relish today. Hitting the ball lovely as he always does. No previous head-to-heads between this pair. I'm sure they're very much aware of one another from Chinese qualifying events as growing up as juniors. And of course, Jiang Jun very much the minor in this battle. At 27 years old, Xingtong is the more experienced player.
10.
Jiang Jun, 19 years of age. Born in 2005, which blows my head off. How young these players are nowadays and how good they are. 2005 feels like yesterday. As I say, there's 8 tables in this arena, and I'm keeping a close eye on all the scores, and I'll do my best to keep you up to date. WST.tv for the live scores if you want to keep up to date yourselves with them. There's a lot of action wherever you look in the arena. We've got former world champion Graham Dott in action over on table 3, currently leading the Belgian beast Julian Leclerc 1-0. Aaron Hill has made a fantastic start on table 4 against Kai Wai Chung, a very attractive match on table 4. Aaron Hill making 2 big breaks in the opening 2 frames there to lead 2-0. Joe Perry as well, looking like he's about to go 2-0 up on table 2. As I say, plenty of players, plenty of matches to come. Marco Fu as well in action over on table 6 against Amir Sarkosh. But this table 1 very much our feature table for the next couple of days, where we'll be showing you and bringing you all the action live. Myself, David Hendon and Phil Yates, alongside Ken Doherty and Rob Walker.
23.
A brilliant week of snooker to come. Sit tight.
29.
Well, he's just steadied himself a fraction here, Zhao. After a couple of minor positional errors early on in this break, he seems to have established good cue ball control once again, something we're so used to seeing from him. You don't want to leave this boy in this position. Red's nicely spread with high value colours available. The black being somewhat out of commission won't concern him one bit.
36.
These reds are spread nicely.
37.
You know, the psychology of a match, the things you go through as a player out there in the arena. Jiang Jun has sat in his chair for the opening 2 frames and seen 2 big breaks from Xingtong. Okay, you can accept that. Your opponent is playing well, he's hitting the ball nicely. The hardest thing to accept is when you sat there and you see, as he is, after missing a routine black off the spot, your opponent has not had to work for his chance. And you can't help but think these should have been your points.
44.
And that's what you have to deal with as a player. That is the toughest part. We can all play, they can all pop balls and make breaks, but can you think well in these situations? That's what the best players can do.
50. 51. 57. 58.
So this pink frame ball. Yeah, and confidently struck. So alarm bells will probably be ringing
64.
for Jiang Jun as he watches on. 3-0 down in a race to 6. He's halfway there already. Zhao in quick time. We've been playing
65.
just over 30 minutes and already it's looking like 3-0. Brilliant ball striker, Zhao. So good to watch. Makes the game look stupidly easy. I can assure you it isn't. If you'd watched a few frames of my match yesterday, you can certainly see that this game is far from easy. Cue ball control is very much everything at this level. When you're in amongst the balls, you have to score. This is what he's doing. And again, we've arrived at this stage of the frame where we're thinking of a possibility of a century break.
87.
This really is a dagger to the heart of Jiang Zheng after missing that black off the spot. This is the worst possible punishment. Clearing the table, winning the frame. Pretty much, in my opinion, a must-win frame for Jiang Zheng coming up. Remember, interval after 4.
98.
This black then for the ton. Oh, he's missed it, but it won't concern him all that much. 3-0, he's going to be leaving. Breaks of 92 and 85 to go alongside that one as well. And this has been a magical start to proceedings here from Zhao Xingtong, the former UK champion. 3-0 to the good. Once again, thank you for your company here at the Victorian Plumbing UK Championship qualifiers. We've got 4 more days of jam-packed action for you before we realise the 16 players that will be travelling to York to the Barbican on Saturday. Plenty matches to come. So much snooker to be played, but this man, Zhao Xingtong, is looking very nice indeed. 3-0 he leads, 3-1 visits he's made. What can Jiang Zheng do to calm him down or keep him in his seat? It's looking a pretty tall order so far today. This very much a must-win frame, I feel. And that is a very nice start. That was very well struck. Deserves a nice cannon, and he's got one. Whether you're joining us on the WST social media platforms, YouTube or Facebook, or if you're with us on Discovery Plus, again, thank you for your company. Discovery Plus, of course, showing all the action for the UK Championships. Plenty of sport available on there as well. If, like me, you're very much into all kinds of sports, then that very much is the place to be. We've got 8 tables of action here in Leicester, and we'll do our best to keep you up to date with all the scores as they come through. Yeah, and another really nice pot from Jiang. He's attacking this frame, which I feel he has to do. He has to attack this match. He has to take the game to Zhao, because Zhao's shown him already this morning how he's feeling. He's had his Weetabix and he's looking pretty strong. you are on social media. If you're on Twitter or X as we call it now, feel free to get in touch, send in your comments, questions, predictions. You know, we're trying to do our best to keep interacting with the fans, and if there is any comments or questions you've got, please send them my way. I'll do my best to reply to as many as possible. I'm at Stephen Hallworth. That's at Stephen Hallworth on Twitter. Got a few people commenting in already. Matthew Scott saying, Dave Hendon and Phil Yates leaving the work to me this morning. That is right, they've been bang at it in Bolton for the Champion of Champions, so they've got the morning off and they deserve it.
Champion 10.
It's a very pressurised season ahead for Jiangjun this year. Second year of a 2-year tour card. I know myself from experience, just the mindset coming into that second year. He's had a pretty decent start. As I say, he's currently sat 5th on the 1-year list, which is not a bad place to be. Remember, we're only pretty much halfway through the calendar at the moment. But a lot of pressure on these matches as the seeded players, having to win this match to get the ranking points. And the last thing you want to see is Xingtong crunching in long reds when you're already 3-0 down. Played some brilliant snooker, Zhao Xingtong, on his way to lifting this trophy back in 2021. Beat the likes of Tep Chaya, Jack Lazowski, Barry Hawkins, John Higgins, before taking out Luca Brissell in the final. But that's the sort of shot, the sort of hope that Jiang Jun has to cling on to, that the odd miss may creep into his game, but when it does, he has to capitalise. By no means a straightforward red, that, but from what we've seen so far today, a red you perhaps fancied him to knock in. Well, he's got slightly more angle on this blue than he perhaps would have liked, but there's a nice corridor for that cue ball to go just right of the pink into the reds. Just a little holding cannon. Just try and push a few more into play. Surely he's going to be on one. And he is.
6.
Again, just a nicely controlled cannon, that. Not doing too much damage to the reds, but just pushing more into play. Looking for one good positional shot here. Yeah, and he's played it nicely, considering. Slightly hampered by the red, but he's dealt with it well. A few more messages coming in on X. Thank you, Kelly Barker, for joining us this morning. So used to seeing your name pop up on Twitter again. Thank you for your company. We really appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, brilliant win for Bai Yu Lu yesterday, the women's world champion. She had a good win in her first round against Farah Ajay, but then to knock out Jamie Jones last night 6-4, she really is a player. I watched a bit of that match. She plays the game properly. And as I say, just to reiterate, with a bit of confidence behind her, I think she could definitely do some damage, so good luck to her. Brilliant to see. Great for the game, great for the women's game as well. Hopefully inspire another generation of players coming through. And Simon Towers has commented in, asking, will Zhao get the ranking points for his wins this week? Well, the answer to that is yes, because as amateur players or wildcards coming into these events, the money you earn, the ranking points you get, you do still accumulate them in terms of the 1 year list. So should Zhao, for example, go on to lift this title, he'd win the £250,000 for it, with it the 250,000 ranking points, which of course would get him into one of the top 4 spots on the 1 year list, thus earning him a 2-year tour card for the following season. So theoretically, yes, the ranking points are mounting up for him. Obviously at this stage of the event you're not really thinking about that, but somebody that's gone on to lift this title previous, I'm sure it would be in the back of his mind. And Simon also asked, can Bai qualify for York? The answer to that is absolutely yes, she can. She has every right to be involved in this event, and so far she's played brilliantly, and good luck to her, and I personally would love to see her qualify for the event. She's played fantastically, as I say, she looks like she's scoring really well, and it's brilliant to see. Good luck to her, every credit. Just chasing his cue ball a fraction here, Jian. He would like to get nicely in, a bit more tight with his cue ball, just to try and get this frame on the board as easily as possible, give himself some hope going into the interval. That little ripple of applause you can hear across the arena is Joe Perry chalking up a century break over on table 2 against Hatem Yassen. The gentleman off to a flyer, leading 3-0.
34. 35.
So there you could see from that previous angle, the red at the back of the pack is very accessible, which in turn will release another red to the opposite corner pocket. So this now very much a frame winning chance for Jiang Jun. A chance he just has to take.
42.
Finished off a break of 1-2-4 for Joe Perry on table 2. Again, so much action going on across the arena. I don't know where to look. And if you want to come down and see all the action yourself, there's still tickets available for £12. You can roam around the arena, watch all the matches unfold as the week goes on. Very much the value in the £12 for the ticket here. Get yourself down to the Mattioli Arena here in Leicester. These qualifying days are brilliant, you know, they really set the story of the event. A lot of hype and talk, and, you know, all the promotion is very much around the Barbican in York, and of course it would be with the top 16 players coming in, but this really is the meat and veg of the event. This is where some real action takes place, and especially the final 2 days, the judgment days. It is a pressure pot out there in the arena.
49.
So it just needs to guide this black in now. He's got a nice high angle, he can just float this in, give it every chance. Cue ball travelling up beyond the two reds. Nicely done. Yeah, this will make him feel good going into the interval.
57.
As I say, it was an absolute must-win frame. Again, another left-hander that looks very nice on the shot. When he strikes the ball, he does hit it with authority. Enjoying a good spell this season. And 28,000 in his first year. He's already up to 31,000 for this campaign, which shows you the improvement from this player. You can only see him going one way as well, and that's up, but he's very cutthroat on this tour. You're only as good as your last result. And as I say, there's a lot of pressure on him today to win this match, not just because of who he's playing, the prize money at stake, but as the seeded player, should you not win, you do not get the ranking points, so all sorts of subplots at play. Oh, that's a very nice shot. He's made that pocket look massive playing it at that pace. They're not. They're very nippy, actually. So a chance to return the compliment. Make a first century break of this match. Xingtong breaks of 92, 85 and 98 so far. It's been quick fire stuff this morning. These boys are not messing around. Yeah, and that will make him feel really good inside. Okay, he's still trailing 3-1, but going into the interval with a little bit of positivity was very welcomed for Jiangjun. Just laying down a little message to Zhao, just letting him know that he's in a game. Okay, he's in a commanding position, 3-1 up in a race to 6, but this break, with this black, a break of, oh, he's missed the black, but 107 nonetheless. More than good enough to send himself into the interval with some positive thoughts. Still trailing Zhao Xingtong 3 frames to 1. An absolute barrage of scoring here on table 1. We'll take a short break now for 15 minutes, put the kettle on, get a brew, have a little rest, and we'll be back very shortly indeed. But just to leave you at the interval with a little trip down memory lane. We've got some archive clips of the 1977 UK Championship final where Patsy Fagan took on Doug Mountjoy. 1977, the first year this event was staged. So join us again in 15 minutes and enjoy this clip.